Out. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Continental Championship Wrestling right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. All right. That didn't work out the way I thought it would. Why is that not playing? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We already tried this once, but here we are going to talk about
good, bad, and ugly.
I want everybody
ugly at first.
I want everybody to know that we are trained professionals. Do not try this at home.
That's true. Don't try it at home because I don't believe you'll be able to do it. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about Continental Championship Wrestling. Guys, Roy Lee Welch, Bill Ash. Tremendous match.
Oh, absolutely. There's a no time limit match. Loser leave town, or whatever. They just say loser leave on the show. But yeah, this is from all but I think some people would be critical of Roy Lee, but I've always found his matches to be very solid matches.
And I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think this was one of the best matches I ever seen him have.
And I'm going to tell you, the end of that match was tremendous. Yeah. He knocks Roy Lee Welch to the floor. Roy Lee is getting back up. They're fighting a little bit. He picks him up for a body slam, rams him into the turnbuckle once, brings him back down. He drops behind him and does that quick suplex. And man, 1, 2, 3, tremendous. The newer wrestling companies in this world can learn from that finish. A very simple finish, but it got to the point. Tremendous match. And Bill Ash, did Bill Ash ever go anywhere after this?
I think this was the tail end. I don't remember him ever showing up in any other territories after this.
Such a loss for professional wrestling because Bill Ash.
Man. The response to that crowd through the whole entire match was awesome. I mean, that was, and that's basically the first match. Yeah. And you have that kind of response in the first match. Just extraordinary.
Well, Continental Championship Wrestling was moving from the Mobile Expo Hall to the Fort Whiting, and I just called Fort Whiting. I thought it was the Fort Whiting Auditorium, but I guess it was just called Fort Whiting. Well, I think that was a great move for them.
Fort Whiting Armory, I think, is what they called it as well.
But to me, that was a great facility for wrestling. I thought it was better than Expo Hall. I thought it was a smaller venue, and that Mobile Expo Hall, unless they was just selling it out, that thing was huge. So I always liked the Fort Whiting.
It had a better atmosphere for sure. It really did. And then you also had the balcony, whereas it's just all kind of bleachers at the Expo Hall. But yeah, it was a good move for sure. But the strongest, brightest ring light that has ever been made for a wrestling ring in that particular show. They turned that on, and the longer it stayed on, the brighter it got.
Hey, did y'all notice that they made a big deal out of being in Fort Walton outside?
Yep.
Yes.
I wonder how that went because they never did it again. I don't ever remember ever running Fort Walton ever again.
Obviously, it didn't go well
because they never ran it again.
It could have rained. It was outdoors. It might have.
It was October, wasn't it? Wasn't it? This is October.
I'm assuming it's a fair show. Is what I'm assuming that it was.
Could have been.
Well, they was making a big deal out of it. There's no doubt about it. The Flame throws a fireball on this. What? I'm going to tell you, that's some of the best fireball flames I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they make this smoke at the end is just tremendous. He's going to have to share that at some point.
Yes. We have to insist that he shares what he did.
I mean, because no one else has ever looked that way.
No.
Now, I believe just maybe, I think our father Ron West said that there is a possibility that the Infernos, theirs did that at the end. It made that big pow at the end of it.
Pop. Yeah.
Because I certainly don't want to track and find out how he did it.
There is a magician's device that you do that. It slips up under your sleeve, and you trigger that. It's almost like a trigger, and it'll pop when it throws that flame out. So I'm assuming it's the same thing. This from an amateur magician when he was a kid. So my parents would never let me play with it though. So
Adrian Street was so great. I mean, he was so good at what he was doing. And in his match, it was just tremendous. They re-showed during this program, Robert Fuller turning on Bullet Bob.
Yep.
Bob was going over, that was the Bullet. I should not say Bob Armstrong. He was not going over that match. It was a Bullet going over that. But anyway, they showed the match. They, I love how Bob always said, okay, now you can get out of this now. We've seen all we want to see of that. I always loved that with Bob. We've seen all we want to see of this. Now just turn that off. We've seen it all. And then he shows him hurting. And another, again, a very simple finish. They go for the, I think it was atomic drop. He kind of ducks under it, goes, puts a leg, put it fake forward leg lock, and that was it. Very simple. They didn't have to have 22 false finishes in that match before it was over. And the place went nuts.
And the difference between being over and not. You
Yeah.
don't have to when you're over. It's a
And that was, boy, them people were going nuts at that Boutwell Auditorium. But now I'm going to tell you, I think one mistake, if there was a mistake they were making at this point, that was the only place they were showing stuff from. They needed to show stuff from Dothan. They needed to show stuff from Florence. They just made it to where everything was Birmingham and just forgot that Dothan, Alabama existed.
Yeah.
Now that we had the Riches against the Nightmares. Jack, what did you think about this match?
Oh, man. That was a good match. I mean, I've got that soft spot for the Nightmares anyway. Kenny and Danny just didn't have bad matches. They may have done some things that were too repetitive at times, but the matches were always great.
I loved it when they were whipping Danny at the end of this match.
That was so great. When he goes in to cover him and he gets one hit, and he goes like, "Oh no, I'm done."
Go ahead, just go ahead.
I had seen that before. I may have even been there that night. I don't remember, but I remember seeing it, and I laughed then, and I laughed the other day when I was watching that. That was so good.
It was just spectacular because it was just the way he did. Okay, yeah, go ahead. But that match was so good, and it's you missed that. Those kind of matches I missed. The Riches and Nightmares had some of the great matches, and also the Nightmares, Dirty White Boy and Jerry Stubbs had probably better matches actually than Tommy and Johnny. But that's a great. That episode was really good. I enjoyed the episode. That's October 26th, 1985. And so a great episode. Continental Championship Wrestling on fire at this point, drawing everywhere they went. All with the exception maybe Fort Walton. That might not have true. But other than that, they were on fire. Continental Championship Wrestling, October 26, 1985. And we will see everyone on the next episode. And when we'll continue our look at Continental Championship Wrestling. If you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. Go one step further. Hit that notification bell. And share the video. That's always, for some reason, we've continuously forgot to ask people to share the video. Until the next episode, on behalf of Rodney West and Jack Lord, I'm Brett West, and we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out.